Okay, so hopefully now you can see my pattern in my apple. And I hope you see how that one sliced apple is going to stand out really nice. If there's a way you can make one of yours stand out really nice, maybe by slightly changing the color or something different, do that. But don't change it dramatically because then it's not in the style of Wayne Thiebaud. It's just to ever so slightly change. Make it look like there's a cut out of your cake if you do a whole cake or something like that. Okay, so we're going to start with oil pastels, which you have with you. And I know you've done oil pastels before, but we're going to just kind of reiterate some things and work on them again. So I want you to start at the top so you're not laying your hand on top of what you're doing all the time. And then I also want you to not, I'm looking for a red. I'm having trouble finding one. There's one. To not do your backgrounds till last, because then that will kind of let you fix some of your issues. And then I really want you to think about the direction in which you color. So when I do this apple, I'm going to kind of color towards the middle so it looks round. Okay. So I'm going to go like this. And I really want it to have a dark spot. You know, the outsides to be darker and the middle part, like right in here, to be lighter, which will really help it look more round. And I also want it to have a little bit of texture to it because apple peel is not just plain red, it's kind of a couple different colors. So I'm going to take and put in just a little bit, maybe of brown in there and just little stripes of it. And I'm going to kind of do it in here as well. Okay, and I want you to think about that too. If yours has frosting, notice how Wayne Thiebaud's looked all swirly and the frosting looked creamy. It's because he used oil paint, which will do the same kind of thing as oil pastels. Just oil paint we can't do because it's too messy for us. But he would use oil paint and he would swirl the colors together to make it look like frosting. Or if it looked like ice cream, he would make sure that the direction that he painted would follow like if you did a scoop of ice cream. Okay, so that's why direction or the motion of your strokes is really important. Motion is an element of art, and that's really what it means. And sometimes people don't want to show the directions of your strokes, but sometimes you do because that helps people get a sense of the texture that this actual item you're trying to represent is, or maybe gives away an emotion like anger by showing your motion, by showing the motion in your stroke, different things like that. Okay. So I really want you to think about that as you color this on there and you blend colors together, that you're thinking about which direction you're coloring in. Okay. So notice as I colored this, I didn't just go willy-nilly and color whichever way. I went and I kind of did the outside and then I did to the inside. Okay. All right. And that really is starting to look like an apple. Now I'm going to do a little more dark on the outside. And so I think I'm going to put in like a dark brown. I could use black, but I don't think black is the right look I'm looking for with an apple. I think brown is more the look I'm going for here. So I'm going to do that here. Okay. Hopefully that looks like an apple. So there's the red one. Let's see if I can get that in the screen. Okay. So I'm going to do the exact same thing. And see, I did smudge a little bit here. So that's why I'm going to leave that background for last. I'm going to do the exact same idea and do a green apple. So I'm going to do the outside edges of this one a darker green, same way I did before. Okay. Green. See how I'm following the direction of the apple? I'm not coloring it back and forth like that. I want it to feel round. Okay. Hopefully got that idea. And then I'm going to use a lighter shade of green to go in the middle here. Okay, and then I'm just going to color over all this to blend it in. Work those edges together. Get rid of any white marks I have. Okay, when using oil pastels, you've always got to blend it with a slightly different color to get it to be nice and smooth. Otherwise, it just looks like crayons. You want it to look like paint. Oops, it's got a little red in that one, but we're going to go with it. Okay, go back here. I'm going to take an even slightly darker green for this one and do the edge just a little bit more on the top. Not as wide in as I did the first time. Just a couple little strokes in there. And then I think I'll take my light one and blend that back in again. That's the nice part about oil pastels. You can just kind of keep working over them. They're like paint, and they just work in and work in. Okay, and there's the yellow one. Okay, so I'm going to quit recording there and do the rest of my apples. And I'm just going to do them slightly different variations of color, okay? And then I'll show you where I am. Okay, so I've colored the apples. Notice they're all the same size, but they're slightly different colors, okay? They all have direction of the stroke in them and motion, which makes them look more like apple peels. And I've already done the stems, and everything is finished. So now I need to do the background. And I want to do a color that's dark enough so it will cover up my smudges. But I don't think I want black, so I think I'll go with like a dark blue color. All right? And so the easiest way to go around them is to start at the top again, okay? And do it on a blank piece of paper or a just scratch piece of paper so you can color off the sides. And I don't know that I'm going to blend this. I just have to make sure I color over it each time really well so that I get a nice creamy color instead of streaky. Okay, and this is why I'm doing it on a blank piece of paper, because I'm going to go right to the edge like that, so I don't have a white edge on my paper. Okay, so I'll show you when I get done. Okay, so it's all done, all colored, and you may want to lightly go in and just wipe off. I call them oil pastel buggers, but be careful because they'll smear, so just very carefully wipe them off. Okay. And it should be good to go. And realize if you put a piece of paper on these, they'll smudge. So just be careful with them. Like don't just treat them nice. Okay. So there you have your Wayne Theibaud style pattern drawing. Hope you liked it. Bye.